Ethan, how you feeling? How's the after surgery? How did everything go? And just what was the offseason like for you?
Feeling good. It wasn't a long recovery. Had surgery done June 2nd, and I was back to hitting by July 14th, I want to say. So it's a quick recovery. It sucked in the beginning, not being able to do anything, just sitting at the house, really bored. But once I finally got back in the swing of things, felt really good. Wrist felt back to normal, felt healthy. So I'm working hard ever since and back to normal.
How's your mindset shifted? I know last year you had big hopes, probably were expecting to go pro after last season. How have you kind of reset yourself and put your sights back on this team for this spring?
For me personally, growing up, I had a lot of goals. I mean, grew up 20 minutes down the road, so I always knew the legacy and the culture of ASU and seeing how many national championships they won. Heard about it when I wasn't born for some of them, but I had goals that I wanted to bring one back also while I was here, so it wasn't that hard of a choice for me. I knew I had a lot of stuff I haven't proved yet and haven't got to achieve yet, so wanted to come back, and kind of main focus once season was over was to come back and win one anyway, so it wasn't really much of a surprise, but it's the same thing now, just hoping to bring back another national championship.
And you talk about being from Arizona and growing up 10 minutes down the road. You have Isaiah Jackson, who's a freshman here, and he's from Vail, which pretty much is Tucson, but we'll just say Vail. What do you think that says to the culture of people, homegrown talent in Arizona wanting to continue their baseball careers at Arizona State?
I mean, it's a big thing for sure. I'll help out with high school that I went to, or even club ball teams. I'll go out and they have practices. I'll flip to the kids, stuff like that. And pretty much every kid that grows up here wants to go to ASU, and it kind of speaks volume that there's a lot of homegrown talent, of course, and ASU is kind of a baseball powerhouse as well, so it kind of helps out. But being from here and seeing how many kids want to come here, it also puts a lot of, not pressure, but makes you feel good when you're out here and you see all the kids come out and how excited they get for being at the games.
Saw you were kind of using that Mr. Irrelevant tagline over the summer after the draft. I'm sure this is a pretty obvious answer for you, but are you using that as sort of motivation to help you this next year?
Yeah, for sure. First couple of days I thought it was pretty funny. Kind of figured, why not me, of course. Kind of a goofball, so I kind of thought it would fit pretty well, but after a couple days, it was like, all right, it was funny, but at the same time, it's not. So it's definitely some motivation, but at the same time, it's not so much proving people wrong, it's just proving myself right, proving the people that believe in me right. So it's kind of what I'm banging on.
When you talk about growth, obviously, Coach talked about obviously improving that growth from last year. How has he personally helped you? Like you said, Arizona kids want to come here, and being a Sun Devil alum, playing at obviously the highest level. How has he helped you in your journey?
For me, you're not going to find a coach with more passion about ASU. And coming in freshman year, I would obviously have passion being from here, but being able to see how much he brings to the field every day and how much he cares about this program, it's like, I don't know if I'll ever get to that level, but I want to come close, because, to see him talk about his experiences here and talk about all the culture and everything that they had back then, it's like, wow, I want to be a part of something like that. So that's what we're doing now, kind of installing that culture every day and getting better every day.
You talked about depth. Obviously, depth is good. Challenges from last year, but how do you feel early on how's it gonna boost the team on the field, and what have you seen so far just from different positions that actually have depth?
It's definitely a lot different than last year. We have a lot of depth, a lot of new guys, so coming in, I didn't really know more than half the team, but we got close pretty quick. We're always together hanging out, but coming out and seeing how hard everybody works, we definitely don't lack work ethic, that's for sure. Seeing all these guys putting in extra time, so you gain respect from people quick, and all of us respect everybody in there, and if anybody needs help, we all help each other out. So I have really high hopes of this team, and I think we'll go a long way.
Bloomy also mentioned how his expectation for you this season is to take a bigger leadership role, especially with the experience. What is your personal leadership style, and how do you hope to instill that within this new team?
For me, I always like to kind of lead by example. I'm not so much of a rah-rah guy. I don't like talking that much. I like just going out and doing it. Growing up, my dad always told me actions speak louder than words. So I just try to prove everybody when I'm out here, like, hey, I'm going to play as hard as I can. You guys should too. That's kind of what a lot of kids on the team do too. I mean, you obviously need some guys who are some rah-rah guys, but at the same time, like, they'll back it up with their actions. So it's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get better with being able to talk. I mean, I like talking, but not so much in a serious way. I like to be more funny. But I'm trying to get better with it. Teach the young guys how we do things around here, teach the new guys as well. And so far, it's been going really good.
Are we going to see you on the mound at all this year?
You know, I don't know. I mean, as of right now, I don't think so. But at the same time, when it gets in the heat of the moment, I like having the ball. So I don't know. It's kind of up in the air right now.
You mentioned a few times last year kind of having to relearn how hard this game is at the college level after your superb freshman season. Was it a bit of a humbling experience last year, and how did that experience just slumping a little bit and then the injury kind of shape your mindset?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was humbling. I mean, it's kind of the whole thing of baseball. It's a humbling game for sure. So you'll have your highs, you'll have your lows, but being able to keep those from getting too high and too low is kind of the whole point of the game. So I definitely didn't get too low last year, the injuries, and I had a lot of stuff going on as well. So, I mean, getting through that, coming out and playing, didn't get really low. I mean, I try to stay as high as I can, be the best teammate I could. And that was kind of the biggest thing that I could take from last year, is just being the best teammate I can. And having the games I missed last year, I mean, it's definitely hard just watching. I mean, I want to be out there helping the team, but I was limited to because of my wrist. But that's kind of a big thing I took into this year, is just being the best teammate I can throughout the game, whether I'm playing or not.
How cool is it for you to see, you know, guys like Joe, you know, Kai signed the undrafted free agent deal, a couple of the pitchers. How cool is it to see those guys get drafted and obviously, you know, living out their professional aspirations so far?
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, Baez, I grew up playing with Baez as well, so seeing that one was really cool. Me and Joe became best friends while we were here, so I would like to say I was the first one who sent him a text, but I mean, he was with his family, so they definitely congratulate him first. But I mean, every single guy, as soon as I kind of let the wind break down from all the media and everything that they got, I gave him a call and told him how proud I am of him, my whole family. Like, we're all watching it at my house, and as soon as we'd hear their name call, we're all screaming, jumping around, having fun. So, I mean, it was awesome to see all those guys live out their dreams and get to go on with their pro career.
Yeah. What have they kind of dawned on you, if anything, since then? You know, some words of motivation and any advice from those guys?
I mean, we kind of talk about every day. I see Nate every day. He stays at the house. Joe, Sean, all those guys, they kind of give me some good insight with stuff they're learning. And I'll try to pick their brain apart, like talk about the swing and what they look for before games and how they like break down a pitcher before the game. And it's a lot of stuff I've never even learned about, but hearing them talk about it and how like invested they get into it, it's really cool to hear, and it's something that I'm trying to implement in my game as well.
You said you don't know about the mound, but you like to be out there in the heat of the moment. Are you still throwing bullpens on the side? Are you keeping kind of?
No, I'm not, but I mean, my whole life, pitching for me has kind of just been get up there and do it. I've never really thrown bullpens. My whole family was pitchers. All the guys in my family were all pitchers, and I guess I was just blessed with being able to do it. I mean, I never liked pitching just because they would always pitch when I was little and I'd hit off of them. So I always enjoyed hitting, and then I'd start pitching. I'd throw hard. I didn't know what I was doing. Like, they would focus on everything, and I'll just get up there and be like, look, I can throw harder than you guys. And it's like my uncle's 10 years older than me, stuff like that. So, I mean, it's fun, but I've never really been like a bullpen guy. I never really focused on it. I've always just loved to hit.
When you talk about personality, so obviously you don't have to talk as much, but I mean, through last year and what you learned, he was going through some tense situation. I'm guessing you're the guy that's kind of knows when to kind of crack the jokes, and maybe everybody will just take a little like deep breath and then refocus on playing ball.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, baseball's a game. You got to have fun playing it. That's kind of what I like to think about. I mean, obviously I play with a lot of emotion, so I can definitely let it get to me here and there, but at the same time, I want to be able to have fun with it. So as soon as the game's over and we leave the field, I'm just flushing that game. No matter if I went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts or say I hit 3 home runs that game or something crazy. I don't want to think about it. I mean, we'll go out and eat and we won't even talk about the game. We'll just talk about life, talk about school, whatever. Like, talk about hanging out and having fun. That's kind of the whole thing after the game. Just flush it, focus on the game tomorrow, and then just have fun and live your life.
You don't have to answer, but who have you played the best prank on? Who have you gotten the best?
I would say I got Sean pretty good. Our trainer had a dead snake, and I put it in his locker under his glove, and he's like definitely scared of snakes, so he grabbed his glove, and once he saw it, he sprinted out of the locker room. So, I mean, that was a pretty good one for sure. But I've had some good ones, but I would say Sean's is the best one.
What's the story behind the number change, if any?
Growing up, I was always number 25. Kind of means a lot. My dad was number 25 when he played back in the day. So came here freshman year, I wanted 25. Will Levine had it,
Right.
so I was like, all right. And I would always beg him, like, hey, let me have it. Like, I don't like any other number besides 25. So then I got 35 just because it was a 5 in there, so I was like, all right, good enough. But now that I finally had the opportunity to get it, as soon as he texted me saying, like, hey, you can change if you want, I go, yeah, I want 25. So it's kind of just how I grew up, always number 25, so I wanted to have it back.
Thanks, Ethan.
Yep.
Thanks, Ethan.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.